What has
Yeah.
investors excited about Zoomin?
It's a few things. First of all, it's about the culture of the company. It's a company that was built this product market fit that I just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
A lot because of it, we started bootstrapping. In the first 2 years, we were bootstrapping. When you
Mm-hmm.
bootstrap, bootstrapping is amazing. I mean, all my gray hair is from bootstrapping, but
Yeah, of
bootstrapping
course
is
it is.
amazing. Is amazing because product market fit is 100% there. You cannot
Yep.
get to dozens of customers, 100%
Right.
renewal without great product market fit. And second, it says that your execution is great. You know
Mm-hmm.
that any distraction, you're going to die. I think that investors really appreciate this product market fit and this great
Mm-hmm.
execution skills. Second, the big investors that we have, I mean, I'm proud to say some of the top
Mm-hmm.
investors in the world between Bessemer and General
Yep.
Atlantic and Salesforce and Viola.
Right.
They look for category builders. And we're creating something that was never there before. I mean, we're
Mm.
basically creating a new category with a huge TAM, which is also very, very important. And these are the main things. Add to this, and I think it relates to what I said about culture, is the style of the company. We're a very, very authentic company, a
Mm.
very vulnerable company that talks about the issues and share our problems with everyone. But we feel
Mm-hmm.
that we believe that if we share your problems, it becomes their problem as well, and they're also going to be part of the solution.
Mm-hmm.
So it's everyone knows everything. Everything is transparent, and as an entrepreneur in the company, it's a lot of highs, but a lot of downs, and we're not afraid to talk about those low points that we have. We have them, and
Mm-hmm.
it's always going to be the case with founding companies.
Right. So, did you all found the company, co-found the company in Israel?
Mhm. Yeah, we found it in Israel.
So tell me what was the impetus behind moving your headquarters to New York?
Yeah. So I don't know how many Israeli. I know that you have some experience with Israeli companies, but
Mm-hmm.
Israel, we have great, great technology,
Right.
great entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
We're very, very good at this.
Right.
But the market is not there. I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunately, Israel is a very small country.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we cannot sell to a lot of our neighbors. So the immediate markets are Europe and mostly the US. This is
Mm-hmm.
the first market. So in day one, we never even tried to sell in Israel. In the first few years, we haven't even tried to sell to any of the
Mm-hmm.
Israeli companies. Also, the three of us, Joe grew up in the US, but a lot of us spent a
Right.
lot of time in the US. It was very clear for us that the US is going to be the first market. And initially, we started selling from Israel to the US market.
Yeah.
So our first 20 or 30 customers were all American companies.
Right.
It was very clear, and I believe that this is where big companies are happening in the US,
Mm-hmm.
and especially in an enterprise company like ours, it's clear that you need to be close to your customers.
Mm-hmm.
You need to support them very well. You need to learn from them. You need to be there. And after about 2.5 years or 3 years, I decided that we're going to build the headquarters of the company here in the US, in New York. I mean, there was a
Mm-hmm.
question between New York and Silicon Valley. We can talk
Right.
about this,
Mm-hmm.
but we decided to do it in New York. To be honest, I think we're about at least 1 year late in doing this. I think we should have done it earlier.
Interesting.
Um, but definitely, I think that's a great that's the right structure. The Israeli and American cultures are also very, very synergetic, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. Israel, very, very good product, very good technology, very, very
Mm-hmm.
good in crisis management. Americans, very, very good in scale, discipline. It's very, very synergetic,
Mm-hmm.
and we love this combination of how we build this company.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think it was a year too late that you moved your headquarters?
Because it is very important to be next to your customers. I mean,
Okay.
next to your customers, building the sales organization, building the entire go-to-market organization. It's very hard to hire great people when you're remote,
Correct.
and then so it basically delayed us building our go-to-market
Mm-hmm.
organization at scale in about a year.
Mm-hmm.
This whole thing, the whole go-to-market organization was built we started building basically when I moved here, and which was
So,
we had things before, but not at the scale that we wanted.
right. So how many employees did you have when you relocated here to the States?
About 25, 30, something like
Okay.
this.
And you've been here now for 2 years, is that correct?
Yeah,
Since 2019?
yeah.
So 20-ish employees to 125 in 2 years?
We're more than 150 employees right now,
Oh my goodness.
and it grew very, very fast. And even during COVID and this year, we're growing very, very fast. We just had just looked at our numbers. We have 70% of our employees who joined this year
Oof.
and to the company, which creates it's amazing because we
Yeah.
brought some great leadership, but it
Hmm.
does bring some challenges, you know, and
Right.
it's a lot of new people, don't really know one another, and
Hmm.
it's a lot of challenges. It
Hmm.
forces us in a good way to double clicking and to deep diving into learning and
Hmm.
development. We built a very, very strong learning
Right.
and development organization, probably the
Hmm.
strongest in Israel.
Hmm.
And but yeah, it is. This hyper growth is amazing, but it comes with quite a few challenges.
Right. So, yeah, I want to dig into that a little bit more. I mean, growing by 70, that much with that many employees just in a year presents its own challenges that I could speculate on, but I'd rather have you tell me what you believe your challenges were.
In growing that fast,
Growing that fast and hiring and how you got them hired and the mistakes that you made and why you made those mistakes and what you've changed,
yeah,
turnover, those types
uh,
of things, which is very
yeah,
common when you have hyper growth. I mean, and you may not
yeah,
have the turnover now, but you may have it down the road, and you don't necessarily see that until a little bit further down the road.
yeah. So I want to start by telling how we built this company. I
Hmm.
mean, we put a lot of emphasis into culture,
Yeah.
and our culture is built on three main fundamentals. I mean, we decided on them, but we didn't really need to decide. That's what we are.
Okay.
The company was built on the first fundamental is humility. I mean, we're a very humble company. I mean, we're not shy to say that we're the best in the world at what we do, and our goals are very clear,
Hmm. Hmm.
and we're very, very confident we're going to get there.
Right.
For us, humility is about listening, and
Hmm.
it's almost about living under the assumption that in any case you don't know, and there is no right way of doing things. There's our way of doing things, and we need to figure it out.
Hmm.
And figuring out is going to come from listening a lot, asking a lot of questions.
Right.
Usually, it comes along with people who are more confident, because people who are a little bit less confident, they speak with explanation marks and they know everything. We speak with a lot of question marks. Uh,
I love
so
that.
that's the first thing. It's a very
Hmm.
nice thing to have as individuals, but in my opinion, it's crucial. As a company, you can speak to all the advisors and consultants in the world. You need to figure out eventually.
Hmm.
And it doesn't matter if the most junior employee in the company or the CEO, you don't know. You
Right.
don't know, and you need to figure it out.
Hmm.
That's the first fundamental. The second one is about purpose and work ethic.
Hmm.
I think hypergrowth is an unbelievable journey. I like to use the analogy of the last dance of Jordan, that it was a crazy journey to be with Jordan, but everyone was there, won 6 championships.
Hmm.
I think hypergrowth is very much like that. I think it's amazing in terms of the impact that you create. It's just not for everyone.
Right.
I don't think it's for everyone. It's for those who want to make the impact, those who
Hmm.
enjoy getting the context and not being micromanaged.
Right.
So that's the second fundamental,
Hmm.
uh, work ethic and purpose.
Hmm.
And the third one is customer obsession, where companies that was built with customers. We have more than 10 of our customers who are working for us today in different roles in the company.
Wow.
And we fight very, very hard to keep the trust with our customers
Hmm.
because we feel they know better than us where we need to go. So these are the three areas that how this company was
Hmm.
built.
Hmm.
Uh, Now, culture for us is, I would put it in a way, for me, culture is the lowest bar of behavior that you're tolerant to. It's that's what
Hmm.
culture is about. Because if the CEO is late for meetings, everyone is allowed to be late for meetings. If the VP of sales is not preparing for sales calls, you're not supposed to prepare for sales calls. and then our role as leaders, but anyone in the company, is to deal with that bar. And to deal with that bar in a very cold way is by who you hire, who you fire, and who you promote. And I know that it sounds very cold, but I think that's a lot how you control that bar. And we start by how we're hiring, and we are hiring based on 5 parameters in that order of importance. The first one we look for is intelligence.
Yep.
And we feel like intelligent people live well with the context. They want the context. They don't want more than this. So that's the first thing we look for. The second one is around drive and passion.
Yeah.
People who came here to win. And also the other side of it, those who are the opposite of it, it's the people that you see them in the morning and you basically want to die from sadness. These are people they're right. These are people they're right because there is so many things that are not working in a company, but it's up to us to decide whether we see it as an opportunity to make an impact or to see it as a downer, I would say. That's the second thing. The third thing is about integrity. And not always easy to see it in job interviews, but very easy to see it once you start working with someone. And in my opinion, one of the biggest motivation killers. The fourth one is about work ethic. And the last one is about skills. So we kind of reversed the order. We built the company around people who has those 4 areas that I just mentioned: intelligent, drive, integrity, and work ethic. Some of them had a lot of experience and some of them had 0 experience.
Interesting.
And that's how we built the company, and it created an amazing company. About a year ago, I felt like we've gone a little bit too far with this, and we're missing some experience. And we're missing some people who have already fallen into the holes that we're about to fall into.
Yeah.
And this past year, we added dozens of leaders, from VPs to directors to all of them from hyper-growth companies. All of them came to teach us rather than to learn, or also to learn, but came to teach us. And you're asking about challenges in building hyper. That was a big milestone for us, bringing that experience and understanding that it's all about time to value to our customers, but also time to value in the company. And we're looking for people who the time to value is going to be faster. To me, it was one of the biggest lessons in how to build the company.
Carol Schultz here. Thanks for watching this excerpt from Authentically Successful. The conversation doesn't end there. So if you want to hear this episode in full and all my conversations with many other successful founders and CEOs, please visit verticalelevation.com/podcast.